If you clicked this video, you're probably interested in learning languages. Well, my congratulations, you chose the right video, cause in 10 minutes you'll find out what helped me learn 6 languages without any struggle. Grab your cup of tea or coffee and let's start. I was born in Ukraine and my native language is Russian. I was raised in a monolingual family, cause at home we didn't speak Ukrainian, only in rare cases just to have fun. I learned Ukrainian at school. We had Ukrainian literature, Ukrainian history. So even though I grew up in a monolingual family, due to the bilingual environment, I acquired Ukrainian. Так что у меня 2 родных языка, русский и украинский. Я могу свободно переходить с одного язика на другой, як, наприклад, зараз. У свій вільний час я з задоволенням дивлюся фільми українською, читаю книжки, слухаю українські пісні, тому що українська мова – то красива і співуча мова. When I was at school, one of my biggest dreams was to speak at least one foreign language. When I met people who could speak English fluently, deep in myself I was jealous of them and wanted to find out their secret. I asked my relatives, friends, acquaintances how they learned foreign language, and the most common answer was that they studied them at university or with a teacher. It was quite an obvious answer. I started learning English at school and it was quite hard going for me. I remember myself cramming all those words and striving to achieve results in English, but I couldn't speak at all. I couldn't even read aloud fluently. It was quite strange as I did all my homework, I tried hard to do my best, but there wasn't any progress. Being in my mid-teens, I realized that language was a tool, and knowing at least English could open doors to better job opportunities and could allow me travel around the world. So I asked my mother to find an English tutor for me. She agreed right away, as my mom also clearly understood that English was quite vital. In a week, I started to attend one-to-one English classes with a tutor. One of the best things was that my tutor created a relaxing and comfortable atmosphere. She showed that language wasn't only about grammar and never-ending exercises. It was a new world which I had to explore. I wasn't a note-taker anymore. I became a passionate explorer who every lesson tried to unveil some new parts of the English language world. Thanks to her, I quickly enriched vocabulary, finally understood how to use those articles and basic tenses, and managed to talk on different topics. Of course, I wasn't a fluent English speaker, but for me it was a giant leap. So if you are learning a language at a language school or with a tutor, the most important thing is to find your ideal English tutor, who can not only teach English but also instill a love of learning a language, inspire you to achieve new objectives. I guess it was she who inspired me to change the school I was studying at that time and later on to enroll at Linguistic University. So as you might guess, I decided to switch schools. If my memory serves me right, it was in the secondary school in the 7th grade. The curriculum was a bit different there, as it was the school that placed more emphasis on learning languages. There I had an opportunity not only to learn English and German, but also English literature, history of the UK and the USA, and business English as well. But nothing goes smoothly in our life, and it turned out that my schoolmates had already started learning German in the 5th grade, and I was a total novice. So the only words which I knew in German were numbers like ein, zwei, drei, and some words related to family like Mutter, Vater, and Schwester, and that's all. Luckily, after talking to my German teacher, I calmed down a bit. He suggested that I began learning German alphabet and some simple words at first. Thank God my mother learned German when she was young, so she helped me plunge into learning German softly. I practiced reading aloud every day, and in 2 weeks I could read simple text. Then the teacher gave the next amount of tasks and I diligently completed each given task. To cut a long story short, in half a year I didn't lag behind the group. I studied on par with my classmates. You won't believe me if I tell you that in the 8th grade my German teacher asked me if I wanted to participate in the German language Olympiad. So what I'm trying to tell you is that you have a name, you can overcome any obstacles. The only thing is that you have to do it regularly and believe in yourself. Make learning a language a part of your daily routine. Do it 20 minutes, half an hour or hour more, and you won't even notice how you're getting closer to your goal. After graduating from high school, I decided to apply to linguistic university. It was an informed and well thought out decision, as I was head over heels in love with languages and couldn't imagine myself doing something else. So the next part of my life I devoted to learning linguistics. I love linguistics, I adore languages, and actually this is why I am making this video for the channel. At university I studied various subjects: history of English, lexicology, theoretical grammar, and so on. So now I can explain why actually the word man forms the plural by changing the root vowel and not by adding the suffix s, and what was the initial meaning of the words like girl or nice. But this is not what we're talking about today. At university I continued learning English and German. Actually, we started learning them from scratch, and this is also another story. Also, ich habe mein Masterstudium absolviert und ich kann 2 Fremdsprachen sprechen. During my bachelor's year, I also decided to learn Chinese, as I always liked the way the language sounded, and it was an absolutely different language with its peculiarities, all those hieroglyphs and tones and so on. I enrolled in the Chinese course. We had a teacher who was a native speaker, and she didn't know neither Russian nor English, and that actually helped me learn faster and absorb new language without any effort. Well, I mean here listening and speaking skills. Besides, I got acquainted with some Chinese girls in the dormitory, and as I could say something in Chinese, we became friends and spent a lot of time together. We cooked, studied, went to the cinema. They learned Russian and I learned Chinese. Everyone got benefits from that. Unfortunately, I stopped learning Chinese because of work and other stuff, but still I can speak Chinese using simple phrases and sentences. 遗憾的是，由于工作和生活的原因，我停止教学习汉语，但我仍然可以简单交流。The main tip here is to surround yourself with the language you learn. The best way to learn any language is through language immersion. And that is how I learned Spanish. My boyfriend and I decided to volunteer some years ago. So we went there and spent 2 months in Valencia. I taught English to small children and he helped in the avocado land. That was a great experience for us and a good push for me to start learning Spanish. It is quite simple and melodic, so I practically didn't learn it on purpose. Almost like with Chinese, only with the difference that in Spain it was easier to soak up the language in the environment. Viajamos a España frecuentemente y tuve la oportunidad de practicar español con los nativos. Así que fue bastante fácil aprender la lengua nueva para mí. So let's sum it up. Number 1. If you live in a bilingual family or in a bilingual surroundings, don't lose your chance to learn languages. If there is an opportunity to learn 2 languages, don't lose it. Number 2. Try to participate in exchange programs or become a volunteer. You'll learn a language easily and without sitting in front of textbooks and cramming words. Number 3. Find acquaintances and practice language with them. Number 4. Find the aim of learning languages, as without it you won't be motivated. Number 5. Enjoy learning languages and get pleasure from what you're doing. Find out where your inner language nerd is hiding and indulge him or her. If you still have any doubts about how to learn English, you can take a couple of private lessons with us in our online school English with Net. Check the link to our Instagram in the description below and write to us straight away. See you in the next video. Bye!